Welcome back to the channel. This is the April's favorites video. I'm Anissa. I feel like I don't really introduce myself or what I'm doing at the beginning of videos, but hey, 4 in a row, might as well start at the 4th one. I'm Anissa and I have been posting favorite videos kind of as a recap to myself because I find that I forget so much of the stuff that I do and that I like, and then friends will send me Snapchat recaps from like 2 years ago and I'm like, whoa, wait, that did happen. I just forgot it. So this was like a great way for me to document them, get them out there, and maybe they stay in my brain a little longer. So this is the April's favorites. I'm gonna get straight into it because I've got a lot of stuff to do. The ITAJ Europe trip is happening on Tuesday. It is currently Friday, so I have to pack and finish so many things on my to-do list, but this was also on there to film, edit, and post it before the trip, so that it has to happen. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing on the list is the clothing and beauty items. I'm gonna throw in a couple random things. The first item is this Lululemon belt bag that I got on Facebook Marketplace, my favorite place to get things, and I've only added a little dude, which was on my other backpack before, but perfect for the airport because it has a back zipper. I do have another belt bag like this, but it just didn't have that extra zipper, and like we saw from my what's in my bag video that I also posted, so if you haven't watched that, you can go watch that. I do love a zippered pocket, and this one was perfect because it had it, and it's in a navy. Blue is my favorite color, so perfect. Next thing is these little jars, or like, I don't know what to call them. They're little roller ball things to like put perfume in, and they're so convenient, and they leave off a little scent, and I decanted some of my Carolina Herrera Good Girl perfume into this for my trip, so I wouldn't have to take the whole shoe. I could just bring this. Super cute, super useful. I got it on Amazon. And then the last thing is a beverage. It is a Monster energy drink in the flavor Ultra Blue Hawaiian, which I'm usually a white Monster girly. Love a sugar-free Monster, kind of of any flavor really, but this one I had at the movies and it changed my life. It's so good. I would still go regularly for a white Monster, but that one slapped. My favorite moments, I have definitely slowed down on activities that I'm doing and going to because I knew that May was going to be kind of crazy and chaotic, and June, and a little bit of July too. I've got a lot of weddings coming up, so lots of things on my mind, so I made it my point to say no to people to hang out, but there are a few people who of course I want to support no matter what. I started the month off by doing a movie marathon with Chris, Sliz, and Jasmine, and that's where I had the Blue Monster, and we watched Mario Galaxy, the drama, and we watched Forbidden Fruits. All I will talk about in the movie section. What a fun day. We actually also got a performance from Izzy's like neighbors who were children, and they brought us snacks and stuff, and it was really good. They performed to Stitches and Lush Life, and that was incredible. And just like getting to see Rigby in general. It was his birthday this month as well. I can't believe he's 2 years old. That feels impossible, but love him dearly. So shout out to our April baby Rigby. I don't know what came first, either Coachella or Jemai's wedding. I'll talk about Coachella first because I didn't attend Coachella. I just looked at all of the content from Coachella from vloggers like Remy Cruz, Remy Parsons, Alicia Marie, Ashley and Amber Alexander, like the Haas sisters. Like all of their vlogs were super fun to watch from Coachella, just seeing like different perspectives and the different performers. Like Sabrina Ate That Up, Big Bang returned after so long without my diva top or TOP, which is deeply saddening, but like he has to heal from a lot of the trauma that happened from that era. He has nothing against Big, I'm not even it's not my job to defend him and the things that he did. Seeing them together, seeing them perform live together was so good, and I could cry just thinking about it as a VIP. Like it was so good. And I really want to go to their concert, but I just know those tickets are going to be impossible to get. Incredible to see them. And then the Justin Bieber performance, which obviously was a bit of a meme as the way he handled things, but I think that that was still so good. And then seeing Billie Eilish and him interacting on stage, super wholesome. Other performers were like good too, but I feel like those were the ones that really stood out and that are like that I'm remembering. And then after that, Jem did her 10K. It was the first 10K that she has ever done, and it was so exciting to like cheer for her and celebrate her accomplishment. She's running a marathon later this year, and so this was like a good starting place for her as she's like training to do this like really crazy thing. I'm just so happy for her for completing her first 10K. Afterwards we went to Monography and took some photos, and so those were super cute, and I just love Jem and love supporting her. After that, Jem came to stay over at my place for a day, like a full day, like 2 days, but like 24 hours. And we watched like the new Euphoria episodes that had been released. I baked her some bread that she could have with Nutella because those are her two favorite combinations, is like Nutella and like fresh brioche buns. So I made some for her and she got to enjoy that while we watched the episodes of Euphoria, which I don't know how I feel about yet. I feel like they're not positive feelings, but I'm interested to see where they take the series. Jem and I took a walk down by the falls and then got to kind of like see the falls in the springtime, which was super lovely. And then on our way back to Toronto, because I had to work and she had to work as well, we stopped to get boba and kind of like talk a little bit more. And then Abby called me while we were there, basically saying that Raf, her husband, had secured us floor seats to BTS, because previously we had tickets. They were like whatever we could get during like the ticketing war, but he found a reseller that was selling it face value because of the new like Ticketmaster policies, and so face value floor BTS tickets. I'm still screaming about this and I don't think I'll ever be over it, and I'm just like so excited for August more than ever. I'll talk a little bit more about BTS in the music section. Just know that I'm still screaming and crying and throwing up. I also keep losing my voice. I don't know what's happening. I think it has to do with like seasonal allergies as well as just like general unwellness during the transition between spring and summer, or like winter and spring, and I just keep on losing my voice, which is not fun, but on the road to recovery, and I'm pretty sure I will be all better before Tuesday. I have to be. Moving on to books that I read this month. I read 3 books. The first 2, cut the cameras, awful. 2 awful books. The first one I read is called Assistant to the Villain because I saw a TikTok about it and I was like, okay, I'm kind of interested. It's got like a villain who's only nice to your like main character or main love interest. It's supposed to be an adult fiction, like it's supposed to be read through the lens of an adult, but the writing is so juvenile. That's the only way I can describe it. It is like no better than a Wattpad fan fiction, the way that they describe things, and I was mildly interested in the story, hence continuing to the second book, which was Apprentice to the Villain, but that one was even more painful than the first. And I didn't know that that could be possible. I think I've rated both of them like a 1.5 or 2 out of 5 on Fable, but just not good. And I can't believe I wasted time on that. Ugh. I just really did not like those. Following that, however, I read Julie Chan is Dead, and when I tell you this book gagged me, this book surprised me in like the best ways. I was on the Toronto Public Library website, and then I was looking for another book to add to my list, and this one was a book that was on there like hot reads, which just means instead of being able to borrow it for 21 days, you can only borrow it for 1 week. And I was just like, okay, it seems interesting, let me get into it. And when I tell you I couldn't stop reading, I think the first 5 pages I was just like, what's going on? And then by like page 10, gripped. I was so into it, I needed to continue reading immediately. The basic premise of this one, I realized that I also didn't give a basic premise for The Apprentice to the Villain, and that one you just don't need to know. I do not recommend it, so I won't even give you a summary because I just don't think that you should read it. For Julie Chan is Dead, it's about this girl who has a twin sister, and they have lived completely different lives. She has lived most of her life in poverty, like paycheck to paycheck, under the dictatorship of her aunt and family. After her parents passed away, like her and her twin sister get split up, and she gets taken by her aunt because her aunt wants the child fund that the government gives, and then her twin sister got adopted by like a rich family. And then she kind of leads a better life and then becomes an influencer. And at one point, something happens, and then this is not a spoiler because this is literally the starting point of the book, but her sister dies and she finds her. And instead of kind of like reporting the death as her sister, she reports it as herself. So Julie Chan, which is her, is dead to the world, and she takes on the life of her rich sister, so she no longer has to live in poverty or under the thumb of her aunt. And from there it just gets better and better and better. There are some weird elements to it, I will say. It's a combination, how did I describe it? A combination of Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, Blink Twice, a movie with Channing Tatum, and Midsommar. Like little tiny bits of Midsommar and like Blink Twice energy for sure, and then like Yellowface. So yeah, if you're interested in any of those things, I highly recommend this book because it was such a fun read and I got through it in like less than a day. I did rate it like a 4 out of 5 because of, I will say there was this one scene involving a mouse, a baby mouse, that I could not get behind. Other than that, loved it. Moving on to movies and shows. I did not watch a lot of movies this month, and for shows it was basically American Horror Story Coven. I rewatched that season. I don't think I had rewatched it since it came out, and since I was on Tumblr reblogging every gift set of surprise bitch, I bet you thought you seen the last of me, or so much Fleetwood Mac dancing around a room. That was really good. I watched it because Chris was watching it at Izzy's place, and then I was just like, should I rewatch this? And then I did. And then Chris has been messaging me because like she has been rewatching the first series as well, like Murder House, which is my favorite of the American Horror Stories that I have watched, is Murder House. Murder House is my favorite because of Tate Langdon. I know. And I know, I was in high school. Let me live. I've reblogged so many pictures of that man's face with his skull makeup. Like, I'm sorry. I rewatched Coven and it was good. It was way different than I remember it being. It was a little less scary than I remember it being, but it was still as entertaining for sure. I also watched Tell Me Lies, which I saw on Disney Plus. I was like one of the recommended, and I'm like, what is this about? First of all, is it complete? because I don't think I could start another series that isn't complete, and it is. It was 3 seasons, which was perfect for me to be engaged and ready to watch it. I don't think I can say that I enjoyed it because I suffered through a lot of it, and I really did not like the main character. I think she made so many stupid decisions. It's basically about this girl who goes to college and she has to navigate the relationships between friends and lovers, teachers, and this series made me angry, especially this one character, I think named Steven. I hated him so much, and it flashes back and forth between them in college and then in the future in which one of the friends is getting married to another friend. And this was like a classic case of like everyone in the friend group is sleeping with everyone in the friend group, which I hated. I truly did not like. Why are we excusing Steven's behavior? He's just one of the worst characters, and anytime he was on screen I would just like fast forward because I had zero sympathy for him. I had zero sympathy for the main character. I think the only characters that I liked was, I would not be able to remember their names, which is awful, but it's like Steven's ex-girlfriend and then the girl that she ends up with. I think those two were the only characters that were tolerable. Everyone else really sucked. The saving grace of this show was the soundtrack. The soundtrack for every single episode, it just was like banger after banger after banger, and they were all throwbacks because it is set in the early 2000s and then it flashes forward to like the 2010s. So just like peak music. The music really carried hard. To the movies, the ones that stood out to me were Bring It On, All or Nothing. I adored it when I was in grade 5 and I still adore it now. Do some of the jokes land? Absolutely not, especially the scene. And if you watch Bring It On, All or Nothing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Watch Starstruck with Jem, and that one's a classic. And Chad Dylan Cooper, is that what his name is, from Sunny with a Chance? Just icon. I'm continuing to watch the Fast series with my brother. We watched Fast 6 and Fast 7, which both were pretty good. The series is progressively getting more and more wild and less believable, more suspension of your disbelief, like a car driving from one building into another building. I don't even know how to describe that, but still super fun. I still think my favorites are number 3 and number 5, Tokyo Drift, and then Fast 5. We'll see if that opinion changes as we go along. Really did enjoy. Oh, I think the one critique that I have about the Fast series is I hate that none of the names are cohesive. Like, why is it Fast 5 and then Fast and Furious 7? I don't know who's coming up with these names, but I feel like they started off making them inconsistent and now they just have to keep on going with it, even though they really don't want to. Because what do you mean? What do you mean it's Fast and Furious 6 and then immediately Furious 7? Make that make sense. I then watched Thrash. It was the shark movie that's on Netflix. That one is okay. Izzy really likes the giving birth scene, but I was just like, just your average other shark movie, and I love a shark, as we know. So of course I was gonna watch it, but it didn't hold up the same way that like other crazy shark movies do. This one was just like mid. The 3 movies that I talked about previously, Mario Galaxy, The Drama, and Forbidden Fruits. Starting with Mario Galaxy, hilarious. I was really there just for Yoshi because Childish just saying Yoshi is so good. It's so good. He really wanted to be in that movie just to say that, and he ate up every single time he did. I don't think that movie had enough Galaxy in it. I think it was just like Super Mario or like even Mario Kart 2. Really loved Rob in that movie. He was really good. I always used to pick him for Mario Kart, so it was really funny to see him. If you know the Flash scene from Zootopia, his scene was very reminiscent of that. Then the drama, which I would rate like an 8.5 out of 10. It was so good. Like, oh my gosh. Jasmine hated it. We know that. Me, Izzy, and Chris ate that up. It was so good, so unexpected. I'm really glad that I didn't read any spoilers or watch I feel like the trailer didn't really give anything away from it either, but it was incredible. If you haven't watched it, please watch it and then tell me what you thought about it, because wow, you really don't see the plot coming, and it's really cool to see the different psychological analyzations for each character presented. I think that her friend Rachel definitely killed that kid, hands down. I'm not arguing, I just think she did, and that is my only point. I loved that movie and I would rewatch it. It was great, and the soundtrack was good. I think I really enjoyed the soundtrack as well. And then lastly, Forbidden Fruits, which I also really enjoyed. I think I would give that one like a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed how surprising the characters were. It didn't take itself too seriously, and Emma Chamberlain in it was just really funny. Was the acting the best there was? No, but I think it was more for vibes, and I really appreciate the vibes that it provided. Moving on to manga and anime. Have I been watching any anime? No, I have not caught up in One Piece. Don't ask me. I think the One Piece baby is beating me now. On the manga front, I've just been keeping up with the updates that I usually read, which all are they have me screaming. Newest updates from Cherry Blossoms After the Winter. Like, we really didn't need this season. This season is making me very uncomfortable and sad because it ended on such a good place, and then now we're bringing it back to angst and sadness. Speaking of angst and sadness, Jinx. The newest releases of Jinx. Are you kidding me? Kim Den, are you okay? We did get JK to cry though, and to beat up Jimin and really get over his Jinx. But at what cost? At what cost? Kim Dan needs to be okay. He needs to wake up, he needs to be healed, and he needs to be all right. Because otherwise, I'm going to riot, because Kim Dan deserves all of the love and peace and protection. Get it together. I also started Diamond Dust, which really good, no notes. Can't wait for the new releases. Why did I start it when it's incomplete? I need more chapters now. Same with Flashlight. Also started that one, also incomplete. Desperately need new chapters. Desperately. I need this fake relationship to be a real relationship. I need them to be happy right now. I can't wait. I can't wait for new chapters. Something that's been keeping me going, however, is Serpent's Den? No, I don't know. I could be confusing it with the other Serpent one, but this I don't know which side I'm gonna put it on, but the Serpent one that is on screen. This one is so wholesome and cute, and it's really reviving me. These side stories have been so good, and I'm living for this content. I need them married and with more babies. I don't make the rules. On the music front, obviously I'm still listening to BTS ARIRANG, trying to learn the lyrics to the ARIRANG original folk song in order to sing it in Body to Body. I'm almost there, but I've got some work to do before the concert, which is fine. I still have June, July, August, three and a half months, so we should be good. Obsessed with all of the BTS surprise songs, but also sad because I won't get to see them or listen to them outside of TikTok videos. I saw this one tweet that was just like, I'm such a fan of BTS that every song that they announce as a surprise song is heartbreaking. Literally, I love every song. So when a new one, they're like, Bapse was performed, I'm like, no. And then they're like, Boy in Love was performed, I'm like, no. no, save me. What? Every single song that is announced as a surprise song is soul crushing because I want to see them all live. Thankfully, my favorite song, which is Burning Up or Fire, is on the set list already, so I'm going to see it regardless. We are living in it. If they perform Zhang in Toronto day 1 and not 2, which is the one that I'm going to, I think that's when I pack it up. That's when I pack it up and go. They perform Otsukare at any point that is not the Toronto day 2 show, pack it up, I'm gone. Actually perform your entire discography. That would be the only right thing to do, honestly. So yes, I've been listening to BTS Epic the musical because Jorge just announced that Epic is going to be made into a movie. I truly could cry, and I have been crying because I've been listening to Epic the musical again. He was my #1 listened to artist of 2025, so I'm emotional beyond comprehension of the thought of Epic the musical becoming a movie, and I really hope that it's a 2-part movie, because if they cut songs that I absolutely adore, which is like 98% of albums, I don't know how I will feel. Like, what if they cut Suffering? What if they cut No Longer You? They could literally cut out all of the Cyclops songs, because I truly don't care about the Cyclops songs, but I think every other song I would have a problem. Maybe like the Telemachus song where he's like the legendary, we could take that one out and I would not be mad. I need a 2-part movie. And then lastly, in other media, I've just been watching YouTube. We know this, you know this. I have been watching Tip to Tip. Yes, I know that it is done, but I've been watching everyone react to it. I've been watching Foozly, or like Leslie Fu, react to it, Fan react to it, Ludwig and Micheal reacting to it again because they just reacted to the entire series themselves, and I truly am gonna miss Tip to Tip. It was so good, and it makes me want to learn Mandarin so bad. Like, and I know I don't have the capacity to do that. Anyways, I started watching a Chinese series this month, C-drama by the name of All Is Well, I think, and anytime they said phrases, obviously they're common phrases because they're just speaking their own language, but anytime they said stuff, I just like flash back to Tip to Tip, and I'm like, wow, I really would love to know Mandarin. Why can't I just like download it into my brain? Life would be so good. All of the Tip to Tip content, so good. I also started the month watching Resident Evil Requiem. Leslie was watching and playing Resident Evil, but she hasn't continued that I know of. She got like a third of the way in and they haven't continued, but she's also doing an Annihilator Cup and a Pokemon thing, so I understand that's super busy, so I don't blame her. It's just I would love to see some completion on that series. And then I watched Micheal Khare do 7 marathons in 7 days, which actually insane. And then I've been keeping up with the jet lag TAIWAN series, which has been really good. So we've made it to the end. I feel like this is no shorter than it usually is, but either way, I will edit and have this out as soon as possible because once again, I need to continue packing and getting ready for this Europe trip. I have a whole packing list that I have set out and I need it to fit in a carry-on and my personal bag. Wish me some luck on that. The next time you will see me is either for my May favorites or maybe I post some Europe content. Like, I don't know. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.